lifted her skirt to her knees, and put her feet in the pool. She leaned forward and lifted cups of water out of the pool and let the water fall back through her fingers into itself with a delicious splash. The gurgle of bubbling water was music. All of a sudden, she stopped playing and cocked her head. She had heard a sound, a sweet sound, sweeter even than the water's voice, barely perceptible, yet strong, insistent, reminding her of something, but she knew not what, calling her somewhere, but she knew not where. If you could turn the glow and delight of the first glimpse of the sun rising over the trees at the edge of the village into sound, it would be this. If you could turn the perfume of a rose or the taste of a ripe mango into sound, or the feel of cool water running through your fingers, it would be this. If you could turn a soul welling with wonder into sound, it would surely be this too. Jyothi stood up. The fretwork passageway led back to the front door in one direction. She had never been in the other direction, had never continued up to its end. Always they had left the passage at the arch leading into the inner court. A last glance at her mother told Jyothi the business of sorting, counting and adding was only halfway through. Her mother had forgotten her presence. She found herself in a wide room with a wooden herringbone floor, polished to such a shine she could see a faint reflection of herself in the deep brown gloss. A series of arched windows set into one wall let in the early sunlight, casting it in long slanting pools of round-topped light. The room was bare except for a few straight-backed chairs against the walls, and, near the entrance to the passageway, a hat stand with an oval mirror built into it. Jyothi crossed the room and followed the sound to an open doorway at the far side. She hesitated just 1 second before passing the doorway. She found herself in a large hallway, dark, for there were no windows, only several heavy doors of wood, all closed. There was no need to open any of the doors, for there was also a staircase, and the sound came from above, from the top of that staircase. Jyothi walked up, her left hand on the banister, looking upwards as if expecting that any moment now the glorious sound would take on form and appear as a vision of light before her, a goddess beckoning her on. Along the upstairs landing, there was a wall broken by several more doors, again all closed. As in a trance, Jyothi walked along the landing, arms held out before her as if to feel her way forward. Although the landing was not dark like the hallway below, but light, and the light was coming from the far end as well as the sound. Light and sound merged into a single entity, pulling her forward, erasing the memory of Ma and the bundle of clothes downstairs, and even the memory of herself and who she was, wrapping itself around her mind and drawing her into itself. She felt light-headed, like clear water sparkling with sunlight. Jyothi arrived at the end of the landing and stood on the threshold of a room that was all light. Smooth, shining white floor, white bare walls, and, at the far end, opposite to where she stood, an open balustrade broken by a row of slender columns joined by scalloped arches. Beyond the balustrade, Jyothi's glance took in the green hills rolling away to the east, and the sun, now well above the hills, brilliant white at its glowing centre, and the entire eastern sky shining white, everywhere a blinding whiteness. White, too, were the clothes of the two people in the room. It was these two who claimed Jyothi's attention. One of them, she saw at first glance, was the source of the sound. It was a man sitting cross-legged on a small red carpet that provided the only spot of colour in the entire room. Across his legs rested a sitar. His fingers caressed the strings, and it was the music thus produced that had drawn Jyothi. Music! This was music! Nothing she had ever heard before was worthy of the name.